Hey, fellow comic book fans. Today we're talking about Border Town number 2.
Yes, so Border Town number 2 by DC Vertigo. A continuation of our adventure with our, I guess, young, I won't say heroes, characters. So in this one, they continue to fight these, I guess, otherworld monsters. Some pretty cool artwork with all the evil monsters, which is pretty cool. But yeah, they're kind of feeling their way through this right now. They're kind of lost. They're being not forced together, but they keep kind of ending up together. And towards the end, we maybe get some questions answered. And maybe there's a little bit more to the town, Border Town, as well as some of our characters. Maybe there's more to their, family and history. But otherwise, a great one. It continues with the same kind of artwork fashion that the previous one did, which I think really works really well with this particular comic. I'm loving it, giving a little more backstory on our characters, but what do you guys think?
Yeah, I'm pretty thrilled about the artwork in general. I mean, we've got, I don't know, about a dozen different types of supernatural characters, all distinctly different, and all drawn in pretty menacing but occasionally humorous ways. So that's an interesting approach. And like you said, we're finding out more about the town, and we're finding out more about the supernatural backstory of some of the characters as well. So there's a lot more going on than what we see on the surface, that there's really an enormous amount of supernatural backstory in this location, in place and time, that draws on the fears of all the individual characters when they come in contact with these supernatural creatures, which I think is always an interesting concept.
Definitely. And I like how you brought up, Ben, how we have our group of teens here that are really just trying to work through and process what's happening. Because I think that they're reacting to this situation authentically. I think that, they realize that they're in a situation where they kind of can't say anything, but they should do something. No one's going to believe them if they're, if they start talking about, chupacabras, and they kind of have to deal with it on their own terms. I think that's interesting, especially because, like you said, they wind up, they don't intend to get together, but they wind up getting together, and we have this, monster squad, this team. I think that's great. I love the, DCU references that are just, scattered throughout the comic, the t-shirts and the posters, and it's great. I too really enjoy the artwork. Dave, that scene you brought up where we have, a dozen or so, monsters from Mexican folklore. That's my favorite page in the book, or 2 pages, really. It's a 2-page spread.
Yeah, and other than making those appearances occasionally, we only have really seen these versions of the Chupacabra. I can't wait to see when the other guys start getting into the action as well.
Exactly.
And one thing that I think that we can't overlook is something you told me before we started recording about Frank's room.
Yeah, so, when I'm reading through this, I'm looking at Frank's room and I'm like, this is basically my bedroom as a teenager. Yeah, the mattress wasn't on the floor, but there's the guitar in the corner, there's stuff in boxes, and there's a Green Lantern poster on the wall. It's perfect.
Yeah.
It's absolutely perfect. You got the little combo guitar amp, close to the...
Yeah, and although it wasn't the Chupacabra, it was the Jersey Devil that we had to deal with.
Exactly. Similar but different.
Yes, well, also another supernatural character as opposed to something that was, a natural cryptozoological creature.
Exactly.
I think that's a major distinction when we're dealing with the supernatural rather than something like Bigfoot or something like that.
And I think too, we haven't brought it up yet. I just want to talk about the opening scene in the book. I thought it was very interesting. We get to learn a little bit more about, one of our characters.
About why Quinteh's wearing the mask.
Yeah, I thought that was great. This was, that was something I was wondering. I'm sure other readers were wondering too what the deal is. And we get to find out here, and it's a really cool reason.
Yeah, he starts wearing the mask when he's a very little kid. Now he's like this huge guy.
Yeah.
So in some ways he's grown into
Exactly.
the image that he had when he was a kid, which I think is also pretty interesting. And there's another, DCU reference. He's wearing a Superman shirt.
Yeah,
So.
exactly. Yeah, I love it. But yeah, so another great issue. I'm sure we're going to be talking about issue number 3 in a few weeks. But we'll see. So that was Border Town number 2. If you've been reading the series, let us know what you think about it in the comments down below. Like the video, hit that subscribe button, and as always, check out thebrazenbull.com for more great comic book content. Until next week.
Adios.
Bye.